So if you guys are like me, and maybe you guys have been using your Godox AD400, AD600, and in one of my previous videos when I did my walkthrough shoot, a lot of you guys commented on how I was using this reflector and this combination for it. And I kind of took it to heart because I really love the Godox CS50D. I love how it produces light, the softness and the quality of that light, like I always talk about. And I think that I kind of let the editors kind of get to me and just kind of got a little more generic and let it get away from me while I was focusing on other things. And I've had a couple health issues come in this year that has made it a lot harder for me to get as physical as I used to with a lot of my gear and equipment, and I've really needed to downsize, and I've really needed to make things light and easy to use, not bend over as much. And so, I didn't feel good after that video and seeing how many of you were like, hey man, what happened to the orb? And so we've got it here. And I want to talk about a different option that I have found, because one of the biggest issues I think a lot of you and even myself, as I just said, have run into is that this guy is, let's get it on there. This guy's massive. I mean, like, I can barely see around it. And it's really heavy. The other problem I have with it is it doesn't like to sit. It loves to fall because of how heavy this is. So if you try and set it down on the floor, it tilts and falls over. And it's just a huge pain in the ass. And fitting it through bathroom doorways, into powder rooms, into small bedrooms, offices, it's just a huge pain in the ass. And it doesn't go, it's like the perfect size to knock a tripod leg. If you have to set it underneath there, or if you're in a really tight spot, it doesn't fit right. And while the quality of light is absolutely beautiful, it's not without its flaws. And because it also doesn't sit flat on its nose, it's easy to put tears in this material. And I kind of question the durability. I mean, you can even see on mine, you guys may not be able to see it, but it's got a couple little wear marks and rips and dirt and stuff. But I think I have found a solution that everybody is going to be happy with. And I have been using it for the last, probably 2 months. Not using this guy at all anymore. Going back to, after taking your guys' feedback into heart and into mind, going back to what I do and what I love and what I like about the photography that I do, and not trying to be something that I'm not, and really leaning into the things that I know to be good and I know to be true and that I like working with. And so that was what made me find this little guy. Now, I don't know if this is brand new. I think it is new in the last year, but this is the Godox CS50T. This is the compact version, or the shallow version, of the 50D. And I want you guys to see just how much smaller and more compact this is. Like, this thing is itsy bitsy. And in comparison to this, like, this light is nearly, if not the same size as the 50D orb is altogether. So it is half the size, if not less than half the size, or a little bit more than half the size, saving just by having this. And one of the best parts about this is it sits flat and it balances on its nose. So no longer am I rubbing any of the diffusion material on floors, on different things that are rough surfaces that might rub on it. And it is lasting a heck of a lot longer than the 50D is. And I don't think that you sacrifice any diffusion, any of the really beautiful light that I have come to know and love from the 50D. And I hate to be the person to recommend something and then, next year be like, hey, I think you should buy this. If you use the 50D and you love it, I don't think you need to upgrade. But for me, that was probably the biggest problem. And I talk a lot about bumping into things, knocking over your camera, knocking over things on the walls. And the 50D is just, it's a lot to handle and it's a lot to work with. And I think that this 50T has really, really solved all of the negatives that I have with the 50D. And as you'll see in a couple videos that we're gonna do, I'm gonna edit a pretty tough edit that was for a massive like log style cabin that I did, a $1.7 million listing, and man, warm wood and just massive windows. It was a tough one. And it's something you guys have encountered, but I used this guy and I have used this exclusively. And one of my other favorite things about it is that, let me break it down here. It's really small when you fold it down. It's not as long as the 50D. It's not as hard to collapse and expand. It's still got the same stainless steel rods in it, and it's got the same little like loop and hook at the bottom of it. And if you want, it's got the attachment for a skirt on it if you want to use it for videos, like an overhead light, so you get a little bit more directionality. And quite honestly, in this little kind of mini quick review here, I kind of wish I would have found this first as opposed to the 50D, because this remedies all those problems. And I really just wanted to get on here so that I could, you know, let you guys know that this is kind of the direction I've gone, and that I've taken your guys' feedback to heart and a lot of the comments in that video. And I have pretty much stopped using this. I mean, honestly, I have stopped using it. I leave it in the office. I don't really use it anymore. And have been committed to using this guy, and I really want to film a shoot for kind of like an architectural style thing, so I can show you just how versatile this has been for me. And when I get that house, we will film it and I will show you guys start to finish how you can use this to create some really beautiful light that is directional and that really brings a lot of depth and dimension to your high-end images. And that's all I wanted to get on here and talk about today. So I really hope you guys like it. I hope this can help you guys if you're struggling. Maybe you saw the 50D and you're like, man, that thing was way too big. This is a beautiful, wonderful option that, like I said, has really no downsides over the 50D and only upsides. And I highly recommend it. I'll put a link in the description so you guys can find it. And yeah, if you guys like it, I hope you can give it a purchase. And it helps you like it has helped me. Let me know in the comments if you guys have struggled with your 50Ds, or if it hasn't. You know, maybe you guys are like, no, I don't need something like that. But I really struggled with it, and I think that was the biggest reason that I went back to this guy. It was just a lot of those complications and my health issues that I've kind of had this year. Just really struggling with it and needing something that was a lot faster, a lot more flexible, and a lot easier to work with. And yeah. So I kind of appreciate you guys calling me out on that stuff. It's really, you know, it really reminded me kind of like why I started doing all of this, and to really stick to my guns and to what I know and like. And I appreciate that about you guys and all those comments. So thank you guys for watching. Yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks.